I like to be out and about. My parents didn't spank me as a kid. They would fight me. I actually remember getting thrown across the room by my dad. There is a very good reason for not believing what he said. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's hard for me to believe that a human being could have done what I've done, but I know that I did it. I expect to hear from you by Monday. Empathy has been a weird thing for me. I never used to feel any sort of empathy, at least conventionally. In the last year or so, I've trained myself to tear up when movies are sad, though. I get very confused with this stuff because almost all of my sympathy or empathy has really just been pity. She's beginning to suspect, I think. I'm so glad we found a way to stop it in the first place. I fantasize about finding basically like a hitman, but for sex. We would agree on a secluded spot to meet. Then, on the night, I'd suggested to my girlfriend that we should go on a walk, totally oblivious that I'd be leading her directly to a man who was about to brutally rape her. I made my fantasy life more powerful than my real one. I'm used to smile and nod, even with a mask or protective covering on. I'm used politely to say hello or some other form of verbal greeting. I'm used to focus on eye contact. I'm used to follow up with a wave. I'm not used pretending to like her food. I was talking to a man the other day. He's injured, not severely. He will survive. Hopefully. The wounds aren't deep, right now. But he's injured. It's an emotional injury. Sometimes those are the worst kinds of hurts. The person doing the injuring, his wife. And she most likely doesn't even know she's doing it. I don't understand. What do you advise me to do? I'm not sure if it's my impetuous nature to know what is to come. The comforting assertions like, great fortune is headed your way, or its mother-memory connection. I became loosely associated with the magic of clairvoyance at age 5. I waited in the reception area while my mother traveled through past lives and peered into her future. These days I'm allowed to partake in the mysticism myself. I don't get to speak much to anyone or that sort of thing. How do I stop getting mad at myself? For those who don't know, visual snow is a condition where you see TV static like dots all over your field of view. I have a bad form of VS and I have nearly psychedelic visuals all the time. Changing forms of objects, seeing silhouettes, things changing color, people's aura, etc. I had to keep him from falling off the cliff. Please be gone by 5. I am unaware that what I did was evil, which some people around me have a hard time believing, but the concept of morality isn't something I can exactly pin down. As to me, actions are actions and nothing more than that. Of course, there are consequences to every action, which is why when I'm attempting anything, whether people see it as positive or negative, I attempt to ensure my 100% immunity, whatever those consequences are, positive or negative. I do, however, have my own set of ethics I follow, but it's mainly because I'm aware that it is impossible to escape the consequences of those actions. I could only delay them. As for my personality and soul being evil, I would say my soul is possibly more evil than my personality, as my personality is relatively harmless and laid back, but certain thoughts and desires would bring immense pleasure and joy to my soul. However, those things are the very same things that cannot be escaped and only delayed, so I never do them, no matter how much happiness it would bring me.
No one understands me in...
Did I really tell you I was unhappy? I don't remember saying that. I pretended to be interested in the conversation. I pretend to think carefully about things before making a decision. I have a friend who claims to be able to speak 5 languages. I don't understand. What do you advise me to do? I think, and foremost, shelters can be a worse option at times, depending on the person. A lot of shelters require people to pass drug tests, so there's a good chunk of people who won't qualify. Some shelters only accept women, children, families, etc. I've seen couples who can find a shelter for the lady but not for the man, or one friend but not the other. It was very hard to stuff it down and get on with normal life, pretending everything was okay. She's beginning to suspect, I think. I have hurt people, but I don't do it on purpose. I'd say the main way it happens is when I do something that hurts them by accident but don't feel bad for it or continue to do it. My favorite color is viridin, or a dark vibrant green. I heard voices criticizing me all the time during 4 months. They're all around me. But once I hear them, aren't they part of me? Can people be inside you? And yes, I don't mean fucking. I mean, where are those voices really located? I'm impressed. How many questions does it usually take to spot them? I'm impressed. Do you know what has triggered this today? They always tell me that I have to get busy. Because in the end we get out and I wouldn't know where to go. I mean, don't let them cross the road on their own. You can go a long way with a smile. You can go a lot further with a smile and a gun. Let me stress that the deadlines and the pace of work must be strictly adhered to. I am sure that it will be so.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
I don't understand. What do you advise me to do? I don't understand. What do you advise me to do? I entirely agree on the need to put conservatism back into its traditional sphere of national identity. You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red black rid you for learning me your language. I agree, these values and principles are found in the three concepts of today's meeting: God, freedom, and nation. Or, in the formula to which I am very attached, God, homeland, and family. When I was 14, I was paralyzed for a while and was in the hospital for a month. The day after I was admitted, a kid about my age was put in the bed next to me. It was 3 beds to a room. It was horrible. It is the accomplishment of 2 very important complex tasks. Not just 2 complex tasks, but 2 within one large project. Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. Some of the houses around here still have inhabitants in them. I'm not sure if they're from this country or not. I'm not sure. How do you make this machine work? Try pressing the button and see what happens.